Join us for our first show as we make stuffed pork chops and seafood Italian pasta salad.
Cook your cares away, worries for another day. Let the music play, down with Royal Cooks.
Once you have your onion all prepped and your bell pepper, you just need some thin slices of each one to throw into your food processor, and we'll work on making that stuffing for the pork chops. Just a couple of thin slices. You don't want it too oniony. And probably just nip the tip off of your bell pepper, unless you like a little more. We kind of like the onion and garlicky flavors a little bit heavier. We've got one of those little food processors, really handy, grind everything up quick. Then just take a couple pieces of your sandwich meat. We're using honey smoked turkey today. Stuff that guy in there. Then, any kind of bread you want to use is just fine. We like to use cracked wheat. It's got a little bit more hearty flavor, especially if you're going to use it for a stuffing. Or a cornbread would probably be a really good thing too. A couple of pieces of that. Stuff that guy in there. Pop on that guy. Grind it down. And yes, stir it up a little bit better. And you probably want it a little bit chunkier so you're not dealing with a total mush pile. Ooh, fresh onion's strong. Then once you see that you've got a nice little stuffing mixture, you want to take it out, pull out your pork chops. You probably want it at least a 1/4 inch thick. We slice them on the angle. Hold it right on either side, almost like you're filleting a fish, kind of. Get as much of a pocket in there as you can. Then you basically get your hands right in there. You're not going to have to worry about cross-contamination. You're going to be cooking the whole dang thing, so there's really not going to be a problem with that. You basically stuff it right into the corners, about as much as you can possibly pack into that turkey. That all nicely in there. Enough so that you can still kind of get a little bit of a seal around the edge. Almost like a little pita pocket sandwich there. You know, you don't want your stuff falling out all over the grill. But you still want to, you know, get that guy fat and healthy. As you can see, I've got them really stuffed to the hilt. There's some fat pigs there. So that blend of the fresh onion and the fresh homegrown bell pepper. We like to use as much fresh vegetables as we possibly can when doing something like this. The flavor is just completely different. Now, when we come back in a moment, we'll work on our marinade. Alright, now that we've got all of our meat stuffed and prepped and ready to go, we want to make a nice marinade so that it can sit and soak up the flavors of the fresh vegetables and the smokiness of the turkey sandwich meat that we put inside of it. We don't want something that's going to be too heavy duty, but we do want some flavor on there. You know, first thing you're going to want to do is do a little salt and peppering just over the top of everything. I like to use a seasoning salt. Our favorite is Lowry's, but you can use Lee and Perrins or whatever you got on hand, or even just a plain salt works just fine. It's all to taste. Then what we want to do is start stacking these fat boys down into a Tupperware container to go into the fridge until we're ready to grill later, and we'll come back and we'll do a salad with Carly. I love Worcestershire, Worcester, however people say it. Worcester, and if you have it on hand, a little liquid smoke is always good on any kind of beef. Just dribble that over your first one that you have it in there, and then sprinkle some garlic. Stack those bad boys in there. Dribble in the Worcester. You don't need to go overboard because it's just going to soak through everything. Get them stacked in there. A lot of times when I marinade, I like to shake things up once I get them into the container. But we're not going to do that in this case simply because of the obvious reason everything's stuffed and all the stuffing is going to end up all over the place in there as well. And then you're just going to have a big mess. A bit more of that Worcester. A little bit more of that garlic. Excellent. And something you always want to remember when you're working with raw meat like this, and it doesn't matter, you know, what you're doing in between. You need to be sure to wash your hands because cross-contamination is a bad thing. I've had it happen to me before, and not good at all. You see how I have them all stacked in there real nicely. And what we're going to do is we'll just seal that bad boy up, throw it into the refrigerator for the rest of the day until we're ready to come back and grill. Next, we'll go to Carly and do our salad.
And now we're going to start with the salad. We are using a boxed salad, but we're going to add into it. It's just kind of a base for the seasoning and for the flavors. First thing we're going to do is add our pasta, and then we're going to add a little extra besides the boxed salad because we want to feed quite a few people. So I'm adding about 2 extra cups of pasta here. And we'll get that stirred up. And while that'll start boiling again, we'll get started on our sauce. I'm going to cut up a little bit of onion, not too much. We just want to give it a little extra flavor. I'd say it's probably going to be about, a quarter of a cup of onion. We'll get that all chopped up. It doesn't have to be a real fine chop, just enough so it mixes well with what you got going on. And that'll work good. And just put that into our bowl that we got going over here. And then we're going to use the rest of the green pepper that didn't get used for the pork. Get a little of that garden fresh flavor going on in there. That's always good. We want to get all the seeds out of here. We're just going to use this whole green pepper. In my opinion, the more green pepper, the better, especially when it's a fresh garden taste. It just doesn't get any better than that.